My family owns a cabin up in the mountains of Wyoming. It's an old place, built back in the 70s, and it's been passed down for generations. Over the years, it's gotten run down, but we keep it because of the memories. It's isolated, surrounded by trees, and perfect for hiking and exploring. My dad loves to fish in the nearby lake, and my brother Sam and I would spend hours running around in the woods, pretending we were explorers or treasure hunters. One summer, when I was 9 and Sam was 12, we went up there for a weekend trip. We got there late in the evening, and the weather had been cold and overcast the whole day. We spent the night inside, playing games by the fire, but the next morning was bright and crisp. It was the perfect day for one of our usual hikes. Sam and I set out to follow a trail we hadn't explored before, one that led up to an old lookout tower. The trail was mostly forgotten, the path overgrown with shrubs and thick tree cover. It felt like we were the first people to walk it in years, but the idea of discovering something new excited us. We spent most of the morning trekking through the dense woods, stopping occasionally to look for animal tracks or hidden caves. After a few hours, we reached the tower. It was an old wooden structure that hadn't been maintained in decades. The stairs were warped and creaky, but Sam and I were determined to climb it. As we made our way up, we noticed something strange. There were fresh footprints in the dirt around the base of the tower. The thing was, they weren't from hikers. They were deep and uneven, almost as if someone, or something, had been there recently but didn't want to be seen. Sam went up first, and I followed close behind. When we reached the top, we could see for miles, the whole valley stretching out beneath us. But what caught my attention wasn't the view. It was the figure standing at the base of the tower, half hidden in the trees. It was a man. He was dressed in dark clothes, his face obscured by a hood, standing completely still, watching us. I froze. I wasn't sure if he saw us or if he was just staring off into the distance. Sam turned around to see what I was looking at, but when he looked back, the man was gone. I scanned the trees below, but there was no sign of him. We didn't wait long. Sam was already heading back down the stairs, and I quickly followed him. I didn't want to be out there any longer than we had to. We made our way back to the cabin, not saying much. But as we walked, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being followed. Every time I looked over my shoulder, I thought I saw movement between the trees. When we returned to the cabin, I told my parents about what we'd seen. They brushed it off, saying it was probably just another hiker or maybe someone from the nearby town. But later that evening, when the sun was setting, I heard something from outside. A faint sound, like someone walking around the cabin, maybe circling it. My dad went out with a flashlight, but when he came back, he said there was nothing there. The next morning, we packed up early and left. My dad said it was just an overactive imagination, but I still think about that man sometimes. I never saw anyone else on that trail, and to this day I wonder who or what was standing there, watching us.